What's up guys, it is Jake Lawson Photography here, and today I'm going to be bringing you sunrise. Basically we are at Pierce Bridge in Teesdale or County Durham, wherever you want to call it, and basically what we're trying to do is we're trying to get the morning sunrises. It's currently about 3:45 in the morning, so it's very early. Basically the sun is starting to get light. Most of the street lights are still on, like for example that one there's on. You can just see the moon, it's going behind the trees because we've got some trees and that here. The street lights are still on, we've got the hotel there, the lights are still on. Basically we've got a little bit of pinkish yellow sky over there. A few clouds, but it's quite clear this morning compared to what it's been the past few days I've tried to do sunrise. So hopefully this morning we're going to get something nice. You know, the sun should come up just above where that house is. You can just see the two chimneys and a bit of a roof. The sun should come up maybe just a little bit to the left. That's where we're thinking the sun will rise. However, we are expecting to see a bit of hopefully some nice coloured skies. So as you can see we've got a little bit of the yellow there, but when it gets lighter we'll hope to see a little bit of pink, because we like that as well. Sometimes the pink comes up, sometimes it doesn't, sometimes it'll just come up yellow, but whatever, we're going to just try and see what we can get. Now the purpose of this video is basically to teach you or to tell you what kind of settings you should use for sunrise. Now currently with me I have two cameras. It's hard to see, it's hard to see, but I'm currently using a Sony. So as you can see, I'm just actually showing you the exposure here, but it's hard to see on the camera. Sorry about that, I paused. It was just there was some people passing and I didn't want to talk. There's another car coming. Right, sorry about that guys. As I say, I just like to pause when cars drive past because you won't hear me talking and then you'll think, what did he say? So anyway, so with me I've got a DSLR camera and I've got a little bridge camera. Okay, now basically I'm going to pause this video and I'm going to basically show you the what settings you should use on sunrise. So here we go. We're on the DSLR camera now, and as you can see these are our settings that we've got. Okay, so basically for post sunrise, this is what they call post sunrise. It's where before you get the actual sunrise. So we kind of want our shutter speed kind of as low as possible, because of course we need to let as much light in as possible, because if we have it too, shutter speed too high, you're gonna get, just pretty much dark. Okay, so if you want to see those colours, but you also want to see the bottom part, say we've got the River Tees here, you want to get a lower shutter speed. So if you're unsure, the best thing to do is just turn your shutter speed down, and then also as well adjust your aperture. You want to put your aperture to some sort of medium, so you get the depth of field of the colours, but it doesn't whiten the sky, but it also doesn't make it too dark, so your river and that looks pitch black. But then again, it's entirely up to you how you want it. If you're just focusing on the sky, then you can turn your aperture up a little bit more, so you get a little bit more of the rich colours, the warm colours, if you know what I mean. But if you want to get the whole scene, like you're looking at through the phone, you're going to have to balance it out as much as you can. Now it's difficult to say what settings to actually have, because of course different sunrises are different and it changes really quickly. So as you can see, the way I'm looking at it now is it looks more orange. It looks like we're starting to get a little bit more pink over there. So as I say, even just 2 minutes makes a bit of a difference. So basically, as I say, we'll just have a quick look. I know it says no card, it's currently in the little camera at the minute. So if you want to know what it looks like, basically you can click off that and look on the viewfinder. So currently that's what the camera's looking at right now. So at the moment I'll say that's too dark, so I'm going to adjust that and make the shutter speed just a little bit slower. I'm also going to adjust my aperture down to 4.5. Let's have a look at that. That's a little bit lighter. Now currently I would say that's perfect you know, kind of theme just for looking at the sky. So I might take a quick picture. Now, as I say, I don't have a card in, but that's basically was my result. So if I have a quick look back, oh, it has no internal memory. I would have thought it would have recorded it, but basically, this is what we'd be looking at right now. Actually, you can kind of see the river. It was just the way I had it set on the bridge. So actually, you could possibly get away with that. But maybe, as I say, if you want it to look a little bit more, you could maybe put your shutter speed down to maybe a little bit slower. There we are. And that's how it would look. Now, if the sunrise is like up, so for example the sun is actually coming up behind the house as we've mentioned, then what you want to do is you might want to adjust your shutter speed to say, I don't know, 1 in 50, you know, which is obviously much slower, and increase your aperture to maybe 5.6. So if we look at the difference now, at the moment it's pretty much nearly pitch black. You can hardly see anything on the screen. That's because, as I say, it's far too dark at the minute, and of course them settings will be ideal for when it gets lighter. Now, if you're also wondering as well, because I haven't mentioned it yet, about ISO speed. Now, ISO speed I would recommend you have on the minimum as possible. So I've currently got mine set to 100. Now, if it's dark like this, I would recommend you could adjust it a little bit. So we could maybe go up to a maximum of 400. Now, if we put it back onto 1 in 20 and 4.5, now we'll have a quick look and see what difference it looks like. And as you can see, it still looks pretty nice. So I wouldn't recommend that you put too much ISO on though, if I'm honest. Hang on a minute, I'll just get back into my settings. I'd maybe say 200, because as I say, you don't want the picture to look grainy, you don't want it to look ruined, and as you can see there, you've got enough light in the camera. So basically, they are basically a brief setting, a brief video to show you like the settings that you should use for sunrise photography. Now basically all I'm going to do is I'm going to be taking a few shots now. I'll have them up in the video, and then basically we're going to be just showing you how the sunrise progresses, and basically I've shown you what the settings are for about now, and when it gets lighter I'll also adjust the settings and I'll see what it looks like. But for the now, I'm going to get photographing because I don't want to miss it. So we'll see you in a bit. Alright guys, it's just a quick update. I've just taken a few photos with the DSLR, and after just taking a few shots I've just noticed something really nice. If I zoom in a little bit, if I point, you can just kind of see some faint pink clouds starting to appear. And if I look over here where these trees are, you may not see it, but just behind that tree where I'm pointing is like a proper pink like colour. Now that, as I say, I think is where the sun is currently at. So as I've said before, like if I just tap on the screen there and just drag it down, can you see it? Maybe not. But as I've mentioned before, we are expecting the pinks, and as you can see where the orange colour is, you can kind of just see like there's some pink clouds. Now that's a good sign. As I say, I know when people say red sky in morning, shepherd's warning and that kind of thing, but we like it in sunrises because of course it's nice colours that pop out, you know, stuff like that. So of course that's what we want to see. This morning, as I say, I think I've been really lucky because every time I've done sunrise here, it's always been proper cloudy. We've got the colours, but it's just been clouds. This is just like, I like a bit of faint clouds, but it's like a really clear morning this morning, which is a good sign as well. So I'm really happy that I've picked this morning to do sunrise, because if I'm honest, I'm not really an experienced photographer in sunrise photography. It's one of those things where I've like, oh, do I do it, do I not do it? You know, because getting up early in the morning, you know, doesn't feel very nice. You know, waking up tired just to come and take a few photos. But of course I like the experience because I'm always like to see, you know, I wonder what's going to happen, what I'm going to see. Now also another tip I forgot to mention is do not leave too early. A lot of people do sunrise photography will probably like go away 5 minutes after seeing this and thinking, oh yeah, we've got the colours, right, that's it, let's go home. No, the idea of waiting for sunrise is to wait for the sun to actually come up. So when it's like proper light, which is probably not for another an hour and 15 minutes yet. Sounds like a long time, but if you take your patience, you might get a really nice shot of the sun coming up. Again, I'll tell you what to adjust the settings. You really want a faster shutter speed for that, because of course the sun will just look like a white light and it'll just ruin the photo. So you want to darken your photo to focus on the sun, but again you want to balance it out so you can kind of see your foreground and everything in your picture. Again, as I say, it's really difficult and it's hard to explain what for settings you need right now because it could change. So I'm not just going to say 1 in 250 and aperture of 7.1. You know, I'm not going to say that because, you know, it might be different. The sun might not come up, the clouds could come over, anything can happen, you know. But so far what I'm looking at right now is, it's hard to see on camera, obviously, better than the human eye can see in real life, but I can see some pink clouds. The yellow is starting to fade away a little bit, so I think we could possibly be having some blue and yellow, blue and pink right now, and it's really pink over there. Again, the camera's not picking it up, but it is pink behind those trees, I can see it. So hopefully that pink will get a bit stronger, and then hopefully we can get some nice colours. Basically we've still just got the moon over there behind the tree. That lamppost is still on, even though it looks much lighter than what it did in the video, because now you can see the colour of my camera there and you can just see my DSLR. Basically some houses over there, there's some street lights just behind those trees where I'm pointing, they're still on but you can't see them. So it's getting light much quicker now, but it's still dark because obviously the street lights are still on. We've got the moon over there, the hotel's still got its lights on, so we're just going to wait and see what happens next. So we'll keep bringing you back. Guys, quick update, I've just moved, the bridge is over there. As you can see the moon now, look at that pink, what I told you about on the bridge I could see, here it is. I've just moved over here to try and get it, so I'm quickly going to take some photos before that disappears, but that's a quick update for now. Alright guys, so I've just had a couple of shots of the pink, tried to get as much of it as I could. Got a couple of nice ones, I think, got some nice rich tones with the Sony, and some like a bit more in-depth field ones with the DSLR. So as you can see, so that was the pink I was telling you about earlier. I said I could see behind these trees. The bridge is just over there where this like little castle thing is, so we were just stood on there. So we're going to make our way back to the bridge now because that pink is starting to go away a little bit now. Still there, but we're just waiting for the sun to come up now. So we'll try and, you know, I'm just going to finish off trying to get a couple more shots of that and then back on the bridge. So we'll see what happens next as part of the sunrise. Alright guys, we're back in at the bridge now over the river, and as you can see, like, that pink is pretty much gone now. As you can see, like, the pink clouds that were over there, they're not there anymore, and you can barely just see the pink behind the trees. Well, I know you couldn't see it on camera before, but that pink is also starting to fade away. So that probably means now that the sun is, because obviously the sun is getting higher, it's going to start to just turn more into like light. So as you can see now, that lamppost has gone off. The moon is just behind the trees. It's much lighter now, obviously, as you could tell from when we started the video. I can see a little bit of like steam and that coming off, clouds coming off the water there. So that's probably a mixture of the hot air and the cold air. You know, that's what you get in the morning. But basically there's not really much I want to take a photo of right now. I've taken one photo of it how it is now, but it's not really exciting at the minute. You know, we've just pretty much just got clear. You know, there's no nice colours anymore, it's just like a blue. But I'm not trying to say that that's bad, I'm just saying that, you know, we're glad that we've captured all we could get. So there's a car coming quickly, so I'll just pause and film it around for a minute. Right, so sorry about that. So yeah, it's pretty much clear at the minute, there's nothing going on, but as I say, if we give it another half hour or so, we may see the sun peering up through the clouds. And then after that, that's it. Sunrise is over. Unfortunately, as I say, that's it. I mean, I think it goes really quick. I mean, it's now about 4:25, so we've been here filming. Well, I started the video about 1:45, so it's been about 40 minutes already. So that's pretty impressive, if I'm honest. You know, like, we've done 40 minutes already. And it doesn't even feel like 40 minutes, it just felt like I took a couple of shots there, walked down that path, took a few shots of the pink clouds, and back here, which could be done in about 15-20 minutes or so. I'm just going to have a quick walk down here, into this little bit here, And I'm going to try and see if there's anything behind there. Right, now if I just pause you for a second there, guys, as you can see there's the house over there, but if I zoom in just behind them trees, I can kind of see where the sun is. Like, it's over there somewhere. Sorry about that, but the sun is actually going to come up there, I think. That's where it looks pretty much nice and yellow and shiny. So I have a feeling that that's where the sun actually is, but of course it's just too dark on the camera to see it. So I'm going to get cracking with a couple more shots. We've just got the remainder of pink clouds and that over there. I might get one of the archway. And then basically the next time I bring you back will just be when the sun's coming up, because I don't think there's anything else that's going to happen now. I don't think there's going to be any pink clouds because they've been and gone. But if anything does happen, like interesting, again, before sun comes up, I will let you know. Also, just quick update as well, because also this is also to mention the camera settings. For this kind of setting right now that we're looking at, I've got my camera set to 1 in 60 shutter speed and an aperture of 5.6. What does it look like? Looks like that, which is kind of nice. Again, if you want to make it a little bit lighter, just turn the shutter speed down. But again, you don't want to make the clouds look white. You know, you want to see the colours. So 60 or 5.6 I think is just about right. But again, it's all what I like about photography is it's kind of like being creative and customizable, which is what I love, because you know, everyone's photography is different. So some people might just want to get the sky, forget the river, they just want the sky because they just think, oh, the sky matters, it's the sunrise. But I like to get the whole thing in the shot, because I think as well as the sky, you need something to fill the rest of the picture. And of course, you either, you know, you want something in. So most people would do a sunrise maybe at a beach or something like that, because of course that's where there's no trees, you know, no obstacles jump in the way. Now unfortunately I don't live near the sea. It's quite of a far drive, so it's not really, as I say, if I was on holiday for example I would probably do it, but the only reason why I picked this place is because it's 15 minutes away from home. You've basically got the river and you've got the little house over there, and of course I'm more bothered also as well about the colours. And in the pictures, as I say, I've done photography here before sunrise, I have liked the fact that you can see the river or the reflection as well as the sunrise. So I do like it here. A lot of people will probably say, no, we don't really want that, we want to do it where it's clear. That's perfectly fine. Everyone, as I say, is different, but I like the fact that you've got the outline of the trees, you've got the river, and of course you've got the colours in the sky. So, and as I say, I mean, Piercebridge, this is a really nice area, and also as well, listening to the river in the morning, how relaxing is that? You know, you just hear the river flowing, you know, stuff like that. And of course, as I say, there's hardly anyone around in the morning, so it's kind of like a nice time to do photography. You know, you're just out on your own doing what you can. Now, as I say, is there any more tips that I would advise you to do? Yes, I pretty much would say so. Another tip, as I say, is always check the weather on your phone or computer or whatever device you have, or even on the TV, you know, just before, you know, you leave, you know, like, well, not before you leave, but like the night before. So like, I don't know, say like it's 4:30 now, but say I went to bed about 11:30, because obviously I don't want to sleep too long and be tired, you know. A couple of hours sleep and I wake up, you know, not feeling knackered. So I go to bed usually about 11:30, but of course again, different to everyone else. But about 10:30 last night I checked the weather and it said clear skies, just slight cloud, and should be sunny. So that's that. Oh, there's a plane over there. So yeah, so that's why I decided to go. And also as well, another tip is, if you want to think about what your sunrise is going to look like, just before you also leave your house to come to your location, just have a quick look outside. If it looks like you can see a little bit of sunlight, you know, because you will see some sunlight even when it's still like pitch black, you can see where it's starting to get light. So even like then, just look and look above where the sun is. And if you can just see loads and loads of thick clouds, then you can maybe say, oh, I'll give it a little longer and I'll see what happens. Because sometimes you don't want to drive all your way to your location and it turns out it's rubbish, like I did yesterday morning. Silly me, I went yesterday morning to a place to do sunrise, which is actually a bit further away than this. It was up on a hill. I should have actually gone there this morning because you would have seen everything. You would have got the pinks and you would have seen it all, and it had the river. It was actually just a little bit further that way, but I should have gone there this morning if I saw, you know, what was going to happen. But again, you just can't tell until you actually see it. But I still like it here. But yesterday I went there thinking, oh, it's going to be great, you know, we're up on a height, you know, stuff like that. And it turned out it was cloudy, there was no colours, it was just basically blue, you know. I'm not saying that's bad, but there was nothing. There was clouds blocking the sun, there was just like a greyish blue colour, there was nothing interesting. So I just left because I was just like, nah. And I thought, oh, maybe on the way back it might get, when I'm driving home, it might rise a bit more and I might stop off somewhere. No, did it? No, it didn't. Absolutely didn't. So this morning I felt the same way. The alarm went off and I was just like, oh, do you know what? I'm going back to bed. I don't think I'm going to bother. But I nearly stopped myself from coming. You know, I nearly just shut my eyes and I thought in seconds I'll be back to sleep, and I would have woke up and I would have missed this. So I'm glad that I said to myself, no, come on, let's get up and get ready for sunrise. You never know what you're going to see. And this morning I've been impressed. It's the best one I've done all week. So yeah, I'm happy. So I'm going to get a few more shots and just waiting for that sun to come up. So see you in a bit.